every Call of Duty is gonna have at least some number of remakes, ranging from 1 or 2 reimaginings released in the final months of support, or like that one year where it released with all remakes. You guys remember that launch week? That was fun. And sometimes they get it really right, like Hacienda, for example, a standout map in a game that didn't get enough praise at the time, now given new life, even if they seem to suck that life out of the art direction in the process. But other times, they just kind of miss the mark by, I would say, a battleship size margin. Like, who the fuck asked for USS Texas back? I'm still pissed off about this. Of all World War II maps, you couldn't have done Point the Hawk. You could have done, St. Marie, Valkyrie, Dunkirk, I remember I really liked. USS Texas, though? And so every year, we have people doing just as I just did, asking desperately for the return of just about every map under the sun. Bring back the Pines! You know, it's been way too long since we had another Standoff remake. Hey, how come we haven't seen Yemen come back yet? EO7 would be perfect if they just carried forward Stakeout. Where's the McRib? But I personally have a dark horse pick for the next map that I want to see get a remake, remaster, or reimagining, and if you could believe it, it just so happens to be the real subject of today's video, Kowloon. But real quick before we get into it, you may have noticed that I have significantly less hair currently than I did in that last shot that you just saw. And the reason for that is very simple, very easy to explain. I pulled it all out. See, I recently went back to play some Warzone on my decades-old PC for a separate video, and I gotta tell you, between the jittering and the lag, it was pretty aggravating. But thankfully, lag can be a thing of the past if you use today's sponsor, Exit Lag. Exit Lag fully optimizes your gaming experience using AI route optimization, multipath connection, and its diagnostic center to ensure a seamless connection to servers. With over 2,000 supported games, including some of the biggest heavy hitters like Fortnite, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, and most Call of Duty titles, Exit Lag is essential to reduce ping and stabilize your connection. Plus, it's stupid simple to set up. All you gotta do is download the software, make an account, add your games, and Exit Lag will do the rest, optimizing your performance so you can focus on getting that dub, which in my case is actually just what I named my loadout. See how easy that was? Oh, dang it. They also happen to be running a Black Friday warm-up sale at the moment, so you can click that link down in the description and you'll get 50% off any annual solo, duo, or squad plan. So once again, thank you so much to Exit Lag for sponsoring this video, and now back to the video. Dropped back in 2011 as part of the first Black Ops DLC, aptly and badassly titled First Strike, Kowloon takes place in Hong Kong around 1968 or so. And the first thing that you'll notice upon touching down on these slippery, rusted rooftops is that this map is it's just special, man. It's got a certain vibe to it, a personality, a clear direction that you just don't see too much anymore. The grunge, the clutter, it just feels lived in. The darkness brought on by the storm offset by the bright flashing neon lights and lightning in the distance drawing your eyes. But you better watch your step because there are no handrails. I repeat, this is not ADA compliant. You will be hearing from my lawyer, and if you aren't careful while walking around this place, you can easily lose your balance and end up falling to the barely textured ground below. And that actually brings me to the first of my 27-point presentation on why it needs to be remade immediately. I mean, just tell me that this wouldn't look just spectacular on an updated engine. Trust me, I've been to film school, and I know that the first class you have to take there is literally about how anything that's wet, at night, and illuminated by a neon sign immediately gets nominated for a cinematography award. It's actually kind of shocking to me that we haven't seen too many like stormy or otherwise inclement weather maps in recent years. The big two that I'm thinking of are Gavutu and Paleyo's Lighthouse, both of which look incredible. Lighthouse being this nighttime infiltration set on a deserted island that I remember you could actually swim all the way around, and I think they even had a hard point on this little shipwreck off the coast, which is a really cool idea. And that's, well, yeah, it was a really cool idea. Gavutu, though, I kinda fuck with. And honestly, this might be a hot take, but the game that this was from, Vanguard, actually had some of the best launch maps of all time. But sorry, anyway, back to Kowloon. One of the biggest reasons that this map just oozes atmosphere and character like this is because it's based directly off of the campaign mission Numbers. That's right. The Numbers. What do they mean? So it's an actual place. You know, it has a real purpose in the story and a reason to exist, grounding it in the world a little bit. Also, fun fact about this Numbers mission is that you could do a little Easter egg on it to actually get the Thunder Gun here in the single player, which actually made a lot of people think that we'd end up eventually with getting a Kowloon Zombies map. And thankfully, it only took about 2 years before all of our prayers were answered with Die Rise. Yeah, 2013 wasn't the best time to be a Kowloon stan, looking back. Now, I'm not gonna lie though, I didn't really remember a whole lot of this map's layout until I actually jumped back in to start making this video. Like, I straight up forgot about just how many little cut-throughs and hidden passageways there were between areas, including ledges that were pretty pointless to go to other than a quick camping spot. It is a really weird kind of time capsule going back here to a time when campers were actually allowed, or honestly even encouraged, to set up shop just wherever the hell on the map they wanted before they were run out of town in, like, what, 2015? At what point did these little, like, safe spaces disappear? I feel like it wasn't long after Kowloon. Then, pitched toward each spawn are 2 big holes in the middle of the playable space, adding a bit more peril to your daily commute and creating some interesting broken pathways that you need to jump or parkour your way around. And this map really did have just a crazy amount of verticality to it. It seems like most optimal paths anywhere required you to jump, mantle, ladder, or dolphin dive at least once along the way. And that's actually my next main point for why this would be a perfect fit for a game like Black Ops 7. See, if this was the kind of layout that Treyarch was able to make back then, just imagine what they could do with all the new movement mechanics that we've added since, like sliding, omni dives, wall bounces, and ledge hanging, maybe? Was ledge hanging in BO7? I don't think I actually bothered checking. The map's actual flow, though, generally followed the tried and true King of the Hill style, where there's a main building or cluster that everyone gravitates to. In this case, it's the Monkey Room, named that after all my little monkey friends who... Oh, fuck, one escaped. I gotta call someone. Hey, look, if you guys happen to see a monkey running around in the background for the rest of this video, please let me know. Don't even bother with a comment. It'll be too late by then. Just shout it out like I'm Dora the Explorer, okay? I'll hear you. Don't... Everything's gonna be fine. And one cool added mechanic that Kowloon had were actually these zip lines that run from the Monkey Room out into each spawn, letting you cross the map super fast and completely fuck up your team's spawn trap and domination, Kevin. I will say though, this is the first time that COD put zip lines into a multiplayer map, and it really shows. Hopping on this thing gives me just instant motion sickness, and I'm pretty sure I might need a tetanus shot now. The big Hong Kong sign next to the Monkey Room is another big point of contention throughout the game, with everyone fighting to get on top of what's probably the best power position on the map, just in terms of overall cone of vision. It kind of reminds me of High Rise's rooftop, but like a lot easier to get up onto. Like stupid easy. It's It's just a ladder. Then as far as the rest of the map goes, there are, of course, definitely some other buildings and rooms to get lost in, but for the most part, none are real destinations as much as they are hallways to keep you moving, sprinting past shoddy electrical work and unlabeled x-rays, just thankful for the small break from the rain. But all these areas are mostly kind of just nondescript. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is some kind of a power station, maybe? And this one's a public restroom? Oh, and this one's a hardware store that's had a lot of returns lately. It's definitely the kind of map that's tight and windy, with a million flanking routes to watch at all times, which can be a bit much at times, I'll admit. But for this game that actually didn't have a ton of maps like this, I actually really liked the change of pace. And honestly, that's what I love most about Black Ops 1's DLC, because just about every new map that they added brought in some kind of new element to the map pool, right? Next to Kowloon, you had a slightly smaller map in Stadium, which had a very specific circular flow around a center courtyard. You know, I never noticed that that thing actually spins. And why is this poster sideways? And then there was Berlin Wall, a much larger our side versus their side map that had a massive wall in between them, with only 3 choke points to actually cross, and anyone who ventured too far from those points would be killed by automatic Gatling guns mounted on the wall itself. It's such a cool and unique idea, whose layout was tightly woven in with its setting. This map was also the backdrop of what legitimately might be my favorite COD trailer of all time, which, if you haven't seen before, please look this thing up. It's incredible. It's a music video about 2 soldiers caught on opposite sides of the wall, and it is fully animated with the character models, and it's just perfection. There's a point where the Spetsnaz guy catches a snowflake, and it turns into a dove that he throws out, and it gets shot by that turret while the other guy cries. There's a fucking flame-throwing guitar, man. It's incredible. And lastly, there was Discovery, which, even though it was one of the more standard maps in the game, still had these snowbanks that you could destroy, fucking with how the map flowed as the match continued on. It was also the original map to feature the Northern Lights, which gives it a nice, unique glow compared to the other snowy maps in the game. You know, there were some insanely creative ideas in here, and that's the kind of thing that just gets me excited. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for some more standard maps from back in the day to be remade too. You know, give me Meltdown or Combine any day of the week. You know, I wouldn't be mad at those being brought back. But I feel like we've seen maps just like those a dozen times since. But meanwhile, there has never been another map like Kowloon. It simply doesn't exist. And I really wish that we could see... Oh, fuck. I found the monkey. He's dancing? He's taunting me. What? No, don't. He hit the button to display all the channel members. Oh, no. What's that? Through interpretive dance, you're telling us that you can become a channel member for only 99 cents a month and get exclusive videos and other cool stuff? Oh, get out of here, monkey. Shoo. Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna have to get him. Just click to the next video, man. What the fuck are we doing here?